Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about red flags you need to look out for whenever you're looking for the next gem, the next NFT project. So I will be covering 9 red flags to look out for when you're looking for the next NFT project. So without further ado, let's begin. I just want to quickly say before we start, the further the video goes on, every single thing on the list gets more and more important, and you should stick around to the end so you can get the best advice possible. So number 9 on the list is not having their own website. If you're going to launch an NFT project and you're actually taking it serious, you will launch a website. If you don't know how to, you'll figure out how to, you'll get someone to code it, you'll get someone to make it, you'll learn it, you'll do a course, you'll do whatever. But if you're actually serious about it, you will learn how to do it. You're not going to just leave it without a website. That is a big red flag. If you're thinking about buying a project and they don't have a website, don't buy from it. That is not a good idea. Next on the list is a high mint price. If the NFT is a high mint price, like half an ETH or an ETH, then you probably shouldn't buy it. And the reason is because those prices are absurd if they have a supply of anything above 1,000. And if they have anything below 1,000, you shouldn't buy it because it's too small of a community, it's too small of a project, it'll probably just get left under the rug. Alrighty, next on the list is the artwork is too good. Now you may be thinking that makes absolutely no sense. If the artwork is good, that would only give it a reason for people to buy it. Even if people don't care about the utility, people will like to buy it for the NFT itself, which you would be right. But then it's not just that. It's also if the artwork is too good, then they get away with not making any utility. I see this a lot where people will make really good artwork, people go cocoa over it, and yet it'll just slowly die out because after a bit people won't care about the artwork, and then now what is left is, okay, what happens next? But nothing happens next because there's no utility. So then the artwork lures people in, people buy because they like the artwork, which is fair enough, but then it just slowly dies and dies and dies, and then the floor price just slowly dies, and then give it a month and it's dead. Alrighty, the next one on the list is actually for people who are looking for projects that have already existed and you're thinking of just buying into it. So every single project that exists right now, you would be considering these projects, not future projects. This is if the amount of owners is way too low. If you have 10,000 owners, if it's anything less than 4,000, I would avoid it. If it's anything more than 4,000, it's a good sign. And the reason is because you don't want your average Joe to hold 2 or 3 or 4, you want the average Joe to hold 1, and then a whale holds like 20. You don't want people holding hundreds and then being considered a whale, and then someone holding 20 is average, because then the floor price can just keep dropping, demand will drop, owners will leave, and then it will just keep evaporating into this tiny amount of owners that just have hundreds of NFTs that are completely worthless. Alrighty, the next one on the list is if the utility is the community. Don't listen to people who say that. That is absolutely retarded. If you say that, you're an idiot, and that's not utility. Learn the definition of utility. Utility is when there's actually something brought to the table. Community is not something brought to the table, it was already there. So if people go ahead and say that the community is utility, then do not buy into that, because how can the utility be a community? That's impossible. What they're trying to do is they're trying to lure you into thinking, that's actually pretty cool. Wow, such a wholesome community I can be a part of. But they actually offer no value, so because they offer you no value, they go ahead and say that they offer value, even though they don't, trying to trick some people who are less knowledgeable into coming into the community. If somebody says, mainly the devs say that the community's utility, sell that NFT if you own one and then just get out of there. I've seen it happen time and time again when people are like, yeah, the community's utility, come back in a few weeks later and it's absolutely dead. Alrighty, next one on the list is if the whitelist is free. Do not do this, okay? Don't buy into projects that have whitelist is free. In fact, in my personal opinion, I don't think whitelist should even change the price. Whitelist should pretty much be you get somewhat of a VIP access, so then therefore you get to buy this NFT before everyone else. That is fair, that makes sense of what a whitelist should be. So if you're not aware what a whitelist is, it's basically where you get chosen for giveaways or being in a raffle or whatever it is. You got chosen to get priority to buying the NFT. So usually what will happen is the NFT will launch on, let's just say, Monday, but then they let you buy it on Sunday. So you get early access to it. But the thing is, the whole point of this should be that you don't get minted out. You don't go ahead and try to buy it, and then you pay $1,000 in gas if you're buying on Ethereum, or the point is that you more buy it before everyone else. You shouldn't actually get a tactical advantage like getting it free. If the mint price is, I don't know, $100 and someone who gets a whitelist gets it for free, that's not a good sign at all, because what they're doing is they're probably giving the devs and all of their friends and all the people that they know whitelist, and then all the people who buy it are the suckers who buy all the NFTs that the devs sold. So then they're silently making money while then making the public mint more expensive and actually have a price tag on it. Seriously, if the whitelist is free, just get away. I don't care how good it is. I don't care if they promise that you'll get a Lamborghini at the end. Get away from it. It's not a good sign at all. Alrighty, this next one is the second last one. So before I say this, I just want to quickly say, if this video was enjoyable, if you found it helpful, I actually haven't found any videos on YouTube that pretty much like helps you guide into finding what's a bad project. All I've seen on YouTube is things turn $100 into $1,000 with NFTs, which is completely unreasonable. So I haven't really found any YouTube videos that actually say what not to buy. All they tell you is what to buy. So if this video helps you, please do consider subscribing and liking. This is a very new YouTube channel and the support is very much appreciated. But without further ado, let's go on to number 2. Alrighty, number 2 is if they're giving away too many whitelists. If you got a whitelist for liking a tweet, you do not deserve a whitelist. Whitelist should be an exclusive thing for people who are dedicated to the project, not for somebody who just wants to quickly get in and get out within a day. If you do that, that's fine. I'm not saying you're a bad person or you're stupid for getting in and getting out. That's fine, but that's not what whitelist should be. Whitelist should be for the most dedicated people. So if they end up giving too many away, it's just a bad sign overall, because it makes it look like they're saying, hey, you're a VIP, so you should buy. A lot of the time, if a project is really hyped up, they don't give many whitelists because of how valuable it is. So the more whitelists you give away, the less value it has, which just degrades the entire project and degrades everybody who owns one. So yeah, too many whitelists actually affects the entire project. Alrighty, this is the final one. This is the single most important tip you need to hear. I really cannot stress this enough. There are some other ones, like seeing if the team is doxed and seeing where the money is going. Those are important, but at the same time, those are just words. This is actually actions that show what the developers are actually doing and what their plans are with the project. It screams that they're going to do certain things. And that is them screaming to delist/sweep. When you see a project and the admins ping the entire Discord server to delist, that is a bad sign, especially if they go ahead and make tweets on it and they're just saying all capitals, delist, delist, or sweep, sweep. That's just terrible. There's a million reasons why it's terrible, and I'm not going to cover it because this video is getting way too long. I'll just quickly summarize it. The main reason is because they know that their NFT holds no value, and they know that they're going to dump it. So while they're at it, might as well get you to buy a few more so that they get royalty fees. That's one. Also, another thing is they do have to pump up the floor price because they know that the NFT has no value. If it has no value, the floor price will slowly degrade. If an NFT has zero value, it will never go up. So when you see an NFT that has a high floor price, you know it gives some value. Whatever it is, it gives something that contributes. It cannot get high up without contributing. That's where sweeping comes in. They say sweep, 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 so hopefully enough people will sweep so they'll bring it up. This is temporary. It will only bring up the floor price for a few hours, a minute, a second, a day, whatever it is. It will not stay permanently at that floor price. But what it does is it attracts more people, so they saw the floor price was $100 an hour ago, and now they're seeing that it's $200, so they're like, I'm gonna buy in, and then they try to snowball that so that they know that when they dump, they get the best bang for their buck. I can go on a full rant on that, but if you really want me to, you can just comment, say, hey dude, give me more reasons why this is a really bad idea. Like I said, I made it number 1, so if it's number 1, it's a really, really big thing you need to look out for. Anyways, well, that's gonna do it for today's video. I hope you did enjoy. I just want to quickly say before we end the video, I do accept tips. Yes, I know, it's crazy, I accept tips. There is a QR code on screen that is a Bitcoin address if you'd like to tip me. Don't feel pressured to. It's purely if you just want to go the extra mile rather than liking and subscribing. That helps me out a ton, but there are a few people who would probably want to support me further, so if you want to do that, that is the best way you could. But that's going to do it for today's video. Take care and have a good one.